Hey guys, it's Vornskyr here, and today we're back in Elite Dangerous, update 1.5 beta, and overnight the beta was actually updated so that bug about stored ships has been fixed, which means that I now have, as you can see in the top right corner, I've got my credits from selling the Type 9, and so I can actually play around with the Corvette and the Cutter. So, let's do that. So we'll jump into the Corvette first, quickly run through the stats we've got here. As you can see, maneuverability, not fantastic, but that will change a bit, I think, as we upgrade the components. Yeah, so we've got 8 utility mounts, 2 small hardpoints, 2 medium hardpoints, 1 large hardpoint, and 2 huge. It's going to be interesting playing around with those 2 huge hardpoints. And then 1 size 3, 2 size 4s, 2 size 5s, 2 size 6s, and 3 times 3 size 7s. So, size 7 shields, presumably, is what we'll be using on this. But anyway, let's purchase this, and we'll have a look at what it looks like and everything. I'm pretty interested in seeing how the cockpit is on this. I've got no idea if this is considered to be like, I don't think it's considered an Anaconda variant. I think it's actually its own ship. It's got the same basic shape as an Anaconda from what I can tell by the profile and everything, but I think it is actually a different ship, like completely different. But anyway, so we'll see what the cockpit looks like if it ever loads in. There's quite a lot of people online at the moment in the beta, so the servers are probably taking a little bit longer than they normally do. On the other hand, we might just get disconnected. Okay, so we've loaded in actually inside the ship. Looks pretty cool. You kind of see, look around the side of the seat with the TrackIR and everything. A few different stations back there. Hopefully we might even be able to use those one day, although we can't today. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. The visibility, it's good looking forwards, not great anywhere else, but this isn't really designed to be a ship where you're tracking fighters around like that or anything, I don't think. And I'd imagine we'll have some weapons hardpoints out there in front of us on the nose. It's probably going to be a bit difficult judging the length of that nose when you're flying this, I'd imagine, but anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to outfit this in some sort of basic combat loadout. I'll try to take advantage of those 2 huge hardpoints. And we'll have a look at that, that's pretty long. That's pretty cool. Obviously we'll have a look at this, we'll get a better view of the ship with the debug camera once we've launched. But yeah, so I'm going to outfit this and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we've got this loaded up. It's a very basic combat loadout. It's not too crazy, but it should be pretty decent. So the way I've gone for this, I've got 2 huge plasma accelerators, and you can actually see these are here. They're right next to each other and they're above the cockpit. Now, I think this will probably make them pretty easy to use, but obviously we'll have to wait and see how it actually goes. But it's they should be pretty close together as well, so I don't think there's going to be a lot of weapon spread with these 2 huge weapons, which is nice. Then we got, I just went pulse lasers, everything else, gimbal pulse lasers. Like I said, it's a very basic setup. You'll be able to work with, figure out something a lot better. This is just a very basic test. And it also meant that I had a lot of energy, like a lot of reactor power left over. So I've got a whole shitload of shield boosters here as well. So my shields should be pretty strong, I would imagine. I'm not sure how strong they'll be, but hopefully pretty strong. And then just a chaff launcher and a kill run scanner. Just the usual sort of stuff you'd have for a bit of bounty hunting or whatever. So internals, I've gone for an A8 power plant, which is of course ridiculously expensive. It cost, I think, 18 million credits, and that's just in the beta, where everything costs 10%, so, obviously that would be very expensive to have normally. A7 thrusters, A6 frameshift drive. You'll notice the jump range is not very good. You're maxing out at about 13 light years with my current loadout, and that's when unladen, or 10.74 fully laden. That is with 352 tons of cargo, so you can see we've got a lot of cargo capacity. And that's with an A7 shield and an A7 shield cell bank. You'll be able to use this for trading, no worries, as long as you've got it, if you can deal with the jump range. So yeah, that's pretty good. And then, D5 life support, A8 power distributor, A8 sensors, and yeah, we've basically seen the rest. So we've already seen in the video that I did yesterday, the shield cells have taken a pretty huge hit to their usability because of how much heat they generate, but you'd probably still rather have at least one and just take a bit of component damage rather than losing your shields altogether, especially with how many shield boosters we're using at the moment. And of course, with how many internal compartments you've got here, there's all sorts of options for how you could spec this out for a hardcore combat ship. You could have an AFMU sort of thing. Is that what it's called? I can't even remember, the maintenance unit. You could have different limpets. You could have frame shift interdictor, all that good stuff. But this is what we've gone with for the moment. So we'll jump out of here. I'll quickly set my fire groups, and then we should be good to go. And it is going to take my shields a long time to build up as well. I might actually go full power to the systems. There we go. And we'll let those build up. And yeah, we'll launch out of here, and we'll take a look at the outside of the ship. And obviously this ship does use a large landing pad, and the cutter will as well. So you're not going to be taking these ships to outposts anytime soon. And so what I might actually do is, instead of, because what I did yesterday was I used the debug camera inside the station. What I'll do this time is, that's taking a long time to thrust up. I'm going to go outside the station, and I'll actually deploy the hardpoints and everything so we can see it with the hardpoints deployed. And I'm going to be a bit careful pulling this out of the out of docking port. It's a bit bigger than I'm used to. I think I've only flown the Anaconda once or twice, and that's obviously around the same size as this. I think this is actually bigger than Anaconda. We made it out. Alright, so let's go full power to the engines. Engines sound pretty cool. So that's 210 meters per second. Now hit the boost.
Scan detected.
Up to 272. Let's see if we can do that again. Yeah, so it's maxing out at around 273, 272, 273. It's not a particularly fast ship, then I don't think you'd expect this to be a fast ship, really. So once we're out of the fire zone, there we go. I'll deploy all my hardpoints. Hello. Didn't expect that. What have I done here? I'm sitting right on the 100%. So I will disable my cargo hatch, and everything will be fine. Which is automatically disabled anyway. That's fine. Alright, so that's our pulse laser firing pattern. Pretty much all at the front. Looks like they're either underneath or to the... Oh no, maybe they're at the top. It's so far away I can't really tell. That's okay. So that's the pulse lasers, and there go the plasma accelerators, as you can see right above the cockpit.
Warning, temperature critical.
So they are running the capacitor low, firing two huge plasma accelerators at the same time, and they do generate a fair bit of heat. You have to be careful of that. You might find using huge cannons is actually a bit more practical. But anyway, let's just keep flying in a straight line. Let's take a look at the outside of the ship. So there's the plasma accelerators there up the top. It's a pretty cool looking ship. I really like the design of this. It's as I was saying, it'll be hugely expensive to actually own one of these, but for a lot of people in the game, given how long the game's been out for, that's not really a problem. For me it is, but I'm sure I'll earn some credit sooner or later. But yeah, I really like that design. The way the cockpit looks, it actually kind of reminds me of like a Cylon from the Battlestar Galactica TV series. Maybe that's just me. It'd be cool if they had like a red thing panning around. Actually, I should have a look where those front weapons are. So okay, it looks like there's is that the small ones there? I can't actually zoom in any closer than this. Alright, it looks like that's a bit of a crew sort of area down there, crew quarters maybe? I don't know. Alright, well anyway, it's a cool ship. I really like how this one looks. So we'll just get around to the back of the ship, and then after that we'll jump into a combat zone. I love those lighting effects from the thrusters. Alright, that's pretty awesome. So, to the combat zone. Okay, so we're in the high intensity conflict zone, and my shields actually are not at full strength just yet. So what I'm going to do is pop off one of these shield cell banks, and let's see how high the heat rises. So we're at 29% now.
Warning, temperature critical. Warning,
still going up.
taking heat damage.
It hit about 120% there. So nearly 100% heat, and that's with an A8 or A7, sorry. So how much subsystem damage did that do? Not very much. Little bits and pieces. Nothing to worry about really, but still. It's like I said yesterday, you don't really want to be spamming these things now, though. So let's choose our faction. We'll go Future of LHS. I'll go full power to the engines so I can turn a little bit faster. And we've got a Viper over here. No, it's too far away. There we go, Federal gunship. That seems like a good thing. So yeah, as expected as well, not a particularly maneuverable ship. So let's this guy's on full shields as well, so let's full power to the weapons and we'll start opening up on him. Bloody hell. Say goodbye to his shields. Jesus. And we can keep firing these things forever. So his shields are down. And we're tearing up his hull as well. Haven't even bothered firing the plasma accelerators yet. There they go. Oh, they missed as well. Who cares? Just keep unloading with this. This thing's a fucking devastating machine. There we go. He's getting pretty torn up now. So because of where the weapons are positioned, I can't... the gimbaling arc doesn't really go up, so I have to keep tracking this guy a bit. There we go. Okay, that worked very well indeed. Let's see if we can find something bigger. There's a Python. That'll do. What's this guy attacking me? A Viper. Don't even know if I have to worry about that. Let's just leave him alone and see how much damage he does. So we'll go after this Python down here. He's 5k away. Might take a little bit to get over there. He's still got his shields up as well. Only just barely. So actually go boosting in down there. Looks like that Viper's given up on attacking us as well. Alright, so we're closing in on the Python. His shields are taking a bit more effort to take down. But you can see my capacitor, it's not having any problems at all firing all of these burst lasers at once. Or pulse lasers, sorry. So he's just used chaff, which means I can't really use my gimbaled weapons, but that doesn't affect the plasma accelerator, as long as I can get it lined up. And he's just used booster, which makes life a bit harder. Come on, there we go. Nope, too far away. So yeah, the lasers aren't doing as much on this guy as you'd expect. I am taking a few hits from something, but we're not doing a whole lot to my shields. Let's try to go for another kind of long range shot. I think he's just boosted again. So that's kind of the problem with where the weapon's located, I guess, as well as having the big long nose out in front of the ship. Is that you'll often be aiming at the target and you won't be able to see the target. So for example, I took that shot there. I had no idea how the guy was actually, like, what position his ship was in relative to mine. Which does have a little bit of an impact on how you aim, I suppose. But those two accelerators did a fair bit of damage. Let's see if we can get another shot. There we go. Did about 20% there, I think. Oh, there goes his chaff and his boost. That's just a nice little relaxing fight in this. So the shields have taken a few hits, but they're doing pretty well. So the outside ring of the shields is still going strong. Oh, he's nearly down now. There we go. So it probably took a little while to kill him, probably longer than it should have really, given the weapons capacity of this. To be fair, I wasn't trying that hard, but still. I think the plasma accelerators are probably sometimes more of a pain to use than they're worth. You might be better off with either some cannons or... Oh, that was a big hit. Yeah, you might be better off with cannons or even just some large weapons or something instead of huge weapons. That's interesting. So once you get too close to some of these ships, some of your weapons actually won't be able to fire on them, just because of the sheer size of this Corvette and the weapon placement and everything. There we go. He should be dead now. Alright, so I think I've managed to fly a fair way away from the actual conflict zone, so let's fly back in there. Yeah, it's handling itself pretty well. So we still haven't had anything really focusing just on us. But, let's see if we can find something else pretty big. Doesn't look like there's any anacondas or anything in here. hopefully we'll start seeing like Federal Corvettes as well in these high intensity conflict zones, given that it would make sense for them, at least in Federal war zones. Not a whole lot really. An assault ship down here. I suppose we'll go after that. Once we get in close enough range. And it does take a while to slow down. It seems to carry a lot of momentum behind it, this ship, which I suppose is good for trying to boost into a conflict zone, or, you know, into range of an enemy.
Target shields offline.
Shields are down. Hit it with one of those, I think. So I'm not sure how well turrets would go on this ship, given the placement of the hardpoints. I guess if you did use turrets, it would be something you'd get used to, but probably have to just keep your ship in a different position relative to the target, I suppose. There we go. That was a good hit. So yeah, right now, in this conflict zone, this ship doesn't feel threatened by anything. It's, I mean, it's pretty slow and not exactly maneuverable, but so is the Anaconda, really. So that's, I wouldn't say it's a surprise. I mean, this isn't a ship that I expected to be fast or maneuverable, so I kind of expect it to be a big, hard-hitting sort of ship, and that seems to be what it is. So this guy's unloading on us a bit. Is doing a bit of damage to the shields. Got another target hitting me as well. My shields are doing alright. So we'll just see how much of it they can take, really. But that's where having all of those shield boosters comes in handy. They are starting to take more and more hits now. I'm actually going to hit a shield cell bank. There goes my heat, so I'm basically not going to be shooting while that's going off. Doesn't seem to have done that much, actually. I suppose because of all the shield boosters. Alright, let's take out this assault ship. Then I'll hit another one. It's a good opportunity to see how strong the hull is and everything as well. I'm not even sure what else is attacking me. It sounds like they could be railguns or plasma accelerators, maybe. What do we got? That's an ASP Explorer, so that could be railguns. Let's see if we can hit this guy a bit. Bit more engine power to keep up with him. Alright, shields are almost down.
Target shields offline.
There you go. Plasma accelerator didn't really do as much hull damage there as I would have wanted, but whatever. Let's just use chaff. I'd say that was a couple of railguns hits coming in. What is that? That's another ASP. Okay. There you go, my shields. Oof, my hull's going down pretty quickly.
Under attack.
Alright, so I'm down to about 80% hull. A little bit less. Just trying to keep up with this ASP up here.
Target shields offline.
I mean, obviously, in a situation like this, you wouldn't really be flying around like this. Because it's beta, I've got no really attachment to the ship or any credits invested or whatever. It doesn't really matter if I die, since it's a good opportunity to see how much damage the ship can take. But in the real world, well, I say real world, in the on the live service, you'd probably be a little bit more careful about how you'd fly it. And of course, with all of those internal compartments and everything, you could probably throw in a few hull reinforcement modules. Add your HP up a little bit. There we go, he's pretty much done. So where's that other one? Is this him here? I think it is.
Target shields offline.
So of course the problem is it's going to take those shields forever to come back up. Part of that's because of how many you know, shield boosters I put on it. This guy's a bit far away for a plasma accelerator shot, but I'm going to go for it. Seeing he's flying in a straight line. Yeah, there we go.
Target destroyed.
Alright, well, that was a pretty good combat test of the Corvette. I think it's a really cool ship. I mean, it's obviously, to load it out the way I've got it, it's hugely expensive because you've got huge plasma accelerators, you've got everything important is A-rated, so you know none of that comes cheap. But it seems like a really competent ship, so it's definitely, if you're looking for an upgrade from the Anaconda, I'd say this is probably an upgrade. But we're yet to see how the Cutter goes. So, actually, how much is insurance on this? 2 million? Yeah, it's fine. Let's see what this looks like blowing up. Should be interesting. I wonder if we can use debug for this. No, we can't. We can't go to debug cam. That's unfortunate. Alright, so we will go back to the station after this and we'll jump into the Cutter. And obviously I'll do a loadout on that as well.
3, 2, 1. Hull integrity critical. Eject. Eject. Eject.
Alright, so the Imperial Cutter. The cost in beta, nearly 21 million credits, which means it'll be around 208 million, I suppose, in the main game. And I should have mentioned as well, with both of these ships, we don't know yet, as far as I know, we don't know yet what the ranked requirements for these ships will be, but expect it to be pretty high. So anyway, let's go through this. So this one, fairly decent boost speed apparently. Maneuverability not great, but as I said with the Corvette as well, that can be updated a little bit. So hardpoints, we've got 8 utility mounts, 4 medium hardpoints, 2 large hardpoints, and 1 huge. Personally, I think I prefer having it like this rather than the small hardpoints. I mean, the ships that you're going to be facing in one of these ships, the small hardpoints aren't going to do much. I think personally I prefer having the bigger, beefier sort of weapons, but your mileage may vary. And internal compartments, 1 size 3, 1 size 4, 2 size 5s, 3 size 6s, and 2 size 8s. So the difference here, the Corvette had, I think, a few size 7 compartments, 3 size 7 compartments, I want to say. Let's actually compare that. That's right here. Yeah, 3 size 7s and 2 size 6s, whereas this has 3 size 6s and 2 8s. So it'll be interesting to kind of compare that in terms of trading and everything. Obviously having different shield setups and all that sort of thing as well. But basically you'll have a bigger shield on this for combat. But maybe not as much other good stuff. I don't know. Let's buy this anyway. And I'm just going to trade in the old ship, which is not a great idea in the real game, I don't think, but this isn't the real game, so who cares. And hopefully this will have the proper Imperial seat as well. Given that they added it to the Clipper, I would expect this to. And it looks like it might. I think so. Oh wait. Yeah, I think that's the white seat rather than the black and orange one. Yeah, it looks like it. Alright, that's very nice. So visibility is probably around the same as the Corvette. Yeah, it's a little bit different. It's probably a bit better straight ahead, I think, but looking around it to the sides, it's probably about the same as what the Corvette had. It's still pretty cool. Alright. Well then, let's load this up. Okay, so we've gone for a loadout that's very, very similar to what I had in the Corvette. So that is basically all pulse lasers, gimbaled pulse lasers, and then one single plasma accelerator. It looks like the accelerator in this ship is actually just underneath the nose. So if we can, because that's the kind of staircase / landing gear there, you can actually see that's the plasma accelerator there, that kind of blurry thing behind the information screen here. So that's where the accelerator is. And interesting as well, the cockpit in this ship is actually at the front of the ship, so you don't have that big long nose out in front of you. So something to consider, I suppose. But yeah, so I did that. And again, shaft launcher, kill run scanner, and shield boosters. There is one less shield booster here because I couldn't actually make it work with the power usage. You can see I'm sitting right on 36 megawatts now, which is all I've got available. So yeah, this ship seems to use a bit more power. It's got the same size reactor, an A8, but I guess some of the other stuff must use more power. So anyway, A8 power plant, A8 thrusters, A7 frameshift drive, and the jump range on this is pretty good. 15.79 unladen in this current loadout, 14.02 laden, and that's carrying 272 tons of cargo. So I suppose using this as a trader, obviously you'll be running a smaller shield generator because there's no point. These are your two biggest cargo bays basically. I mean, if I had this cargo racks installed in these, what would we have? It'd be 256, wouldn't it? Yeah, 256. So you'd have a pair of 256. So this is a lot of cargo capacity in these two slots here, and you'd probably run a size 6 shield, I'd imagine. So yeah, having this properly laid out or outfitted, even if I can figure out how to speak, having this outfitted properly as a trader, you'll be able to carry a lot of cargo, and presumably you'll have a fairly decent jump range as well. But anyway, we're doing this as a combat setup this time, so this is just to compare it with the Corvette in a similar setup. So the Corvette with a similar setup as this could carry more cargo, basically. Anyway, D7 life support, A7 power distributor, A7 sensors, and then I've had to go for a B-rated shield, just because even given this is beta, with beta prices, the A8 shield is insanely expensive, and with that shield I couldn't afford the rest of the loadout, so yeah, we've had to go with the Bs. But I do also have an A8 shield cell bank. So, yes. Yeah, so that's all that. Have I got my fire group set? I'm pretty sure I don't. No, I do not. Let's just do this. Alright, let's load out. Launch out even. And we'll do the same thing in this ship that I did with the Corvette as well. As you can see, my shields went down when I didn't have enough power at one point, so they are very slowly coming back up. I have to go full power to the systems for that. But yeah, so they may not even be fully recharged by the time I'm at the combat zone.
Ship released. Engines engaged.
There we go.
Landing gear retracted.
Just fairly slow to start accelerating and everything, but you have to expect that from these big ships. Apparently there might be some problems leaving the thing as well, what I've heard. I'm actually going to take this very slowly because I don't have any shields. So let's see.
Hull integrity compromised.
Okay. I think it's stuck. Let's reverse out of here a little bit and just thrust down slightly. It's not enjoying that. Yeah, okay. I'm just taking up the whole docking port, don't mind me. I'm actually going to put the landing gear down. One of the things I read on the forums was that apparently having the landing gear down as you're trying to leave helps. No idea why. And now I've got a 30-second loitering thing.
Landing gear deployed.
Okay, and that worked. Right, I spoke too soon. God, that was interesting. Alright, so I managed to pick up a fine there. Doesn't really matter. Well, that was interesting. So I had read somewhere on the forums that to get out of the docking bay, or out of the landing slit sort of thing properly, you need your landing gear down. And yeah, it was weird. It just kind of seemed to get stuck there. It may have just been bad piloting on my part. It's entirely possible. Anyway, we've taken 20% hull damage. Not really what I wanted. Obviously, that wouldn't have been a problem if my shields were up, but whatever. So let's have a look at the outside of the ship, and as I did with the Corvette, we'll deploy the hard points. So there we go. I mean, in terms of the styling and everything, it basically looks like a bigger Clipper. There are differences, but the key design features are of the Clipper, which is fine for me. I really like the way the Clipper looks. I suppose it'd be nice if it was a little bit more unique or something, but it's still a cool design. I always liked the Imperial ships. I'm a massive Imperial fanboy, I think. So there's the plasma accelerator down there. And I'm not quite sure where all the other weapons are, actually. I'd imagine that some of them are on the these engine nacelles here. And I'm pretty sure the two... Is that some weapons down there? Yeah, it looks like... Okay, there's a couple down there, I think. Maybe. Unfortunately, I can't actually zoom in close enough to get some really good, really good look at this stuff using the debug camera. But yeah, it's a cool looking ship. And yeah, that looks like a couple of weapons here on top of these nacelles. You might even find yourself wanting to use turrets on those weapons, given the size of the ship. And the engines and everything always look pretty cool. Okay, so that's the exterior of the cutter. It's a pretty awesome looking ship. So let's see what the firing pattern and everything looks like. And yeah, that's okay. So yeah, that's interesting. So I think this is going to be one of those ships where, well, probably help if it had full power to the weapons. Probably one of those ships where gimbaled weapons will be a good thing to have, I'd imagine. It seems to be running the capacitor dry pretty quickly as well. I guess that's the difference between the large and medium weapons and the the mix of small weapons and everything that the Corvette has. It's still got, it still fires for a while though, but you just have to be aware of it. So let's let the weapons power build up a little bit, and we'll fire off the plasma accelerator as well. There we go. Just a single accelerator, nothing out of the ordinary. But of course, being a single one, it doesn't generate as much heat or use as much capacitor power, so advantages to that, I suppose. But we will head straight back to that conflict zone. I'll let my shields build up a little bit more as well.
Shields online.
Actually, now that they're back up, let's hit the shield cell bank.
Warning, temperature critical.
So there goes the heat.
Taking heat damage.
Up to 141%. Bit of module damage there, nothing too serious though. And it got the shields up about halfway, maybe. Alright, that'll do.
Frameshift drive charging.
Okay, we're in the conflict zone. We've got a full charge on our shields. So again, we'll fight on Future's side. Federal dropship down there. Oh, Federal Corvette, there we go. Why didn't we get any of those earlier? What am I doing? Oh, he's behind me. Managed to look at the wrong target, I think. Oh, there he is. Hello. That's a cool looking ship. And immediately this is a pretty sluggish maneuvering ship as well. So we've got full power to the weapons, so we'll just start unloading. Looks like he's got some turrets loaded up on the side of that. And those look to be plasma accelerators, or maybe railguns, I'm not sure actually. No, they're plasma accelerators. I love actually being able to look at the outside of the ship and see that. Alright, so again we'll try to... yeah, there we go.
Target shields offline.
So look how much damage we're doing to the hull. That's just tearing his hull up. And of course we can do... stay still. No, no, don't do that. Stay still. Oh, was that going to hit? No. I was going to say we could do that. Oh, don't go head on with him. I get 2 plasma accelerators to the face. Don't want that. But yeah, we're doing a lot of damage to his hull with this weapons loadout. So I'll have to go power the engines to keep up with him. See if I can get off one of these shots. There we go. Oh, is that going to hit? I think he actually managed to avoid that. Go for another one. Oh. Doesn't actually want to fire. I got 2. Oh, I went head on. That wasn't smart. I think one of them hit, but it didn't really do anything to my shields. So, I mean, that's pretty good. You're not going to be getting anywhere fast maneuvering in this ship by the looks of it. I mean, the same is true of the Corvette. I think I probably have an expectation that Imperial ships are a bit faster or a bit more maneuverable based on my previous experience with them. But there's no guarantees that'll be the case with this ship. So I've got something shooting at me now. What would that be? It's a Federal dropship. Alright. So we'll spin around and take this guy up. But you can see my shields are handling that fine. You know, no worries at all. As long as I can actually keep up with him. There he is.
Target shields offline.
So yeah, I think this this weapons loadout is probably a bit nicer. Just not having those small weapons and having some larger stuff. I think it's a little bit better for that. See if I can get off the plasma accelerator. There we go. Be cute. was actually wondering if I was going to clip him with the engine nacelles there. He's somewhere up there. Need more power to the engines. There he is. Take a long range plasma accelerator shot. Nope, didn't hit. No, that one's not going to hit either. Oh, he's nearly down.
Target shields online. Target shields offline.
There we go. Of course, that's the good thing about having the weapons kind of above and below the cockpit. You can shoot him no matter where he is relative to you, really. Alright, so let's head back in, see if we can find something a bit bigger to shoot at. Federal dropship, anything else? Let's actually go for a Viper Mark IV, something a little bit smaller. Because you're not always going to be fighting big ships. But the Viper Mark IV is a pretty tough little ship. It takes more hits than you'd expect it to. I'd be lucky if I hit it with a plasma accelerator. Especially now that he's moving around a bit. Let's go for it. Oh, no, that's going to miss. Oh, is it? Yeah. Who's firing missiles? Who even uses missiles? Well, my shields are taking a bit of damage as well. Oh, he goes shields back up. Having a bit of problems with the weapons capacitor at the moment.
Destroyed.
So who was that shooting missiles at me? No idea. Oh, I got a Cobra over here. Let's go and take this guy out. I could use a shield cell bank here, but I'm not going to. I'll just see how we go. Much like I did with the Corvette as well. This guy's pretty much dead already. There we go. So who's that attacking me now? A Vulture. Cool. So he's got large weapons, which means he's should be doing a fair bit of damage, I suppose. He doesn't have that penalty, damage penalty from having smaller weapons. Just unload on him.
Target shields offline.
Shields went down nice and easy. Helps that I wasn't the only person attacking him, but still. I'm trying to line up a plasma accelerator shot, but no great luck with that. So I actually had a really good shot just then, but couldn't take it. I guess his thrusters have been disabled, the way he's spinning around like that. Alright, what else have we got? Let's just go after one of these dropships, I suppose. Both in the same area by the looks of it. So yeah, this ship is definitely handling itself well in combat as well. It's probably, I'd say it's less maneuverable than the Corvette. It feels that way. I may actually not be right. It's hard to tell sometimes, but it feels less maneuverable. It's a little bit more difficult to keep it on target. But yeah, it's doing plenty of damage when you can keep the target in front of you. There we go. A Condor. Let's see how much, how many hits a Condor can take. Does he even have shields? It doesn't look like it. It's the TIE Fighter of Elite Dangerous. Let's see, can we go for a plasma accelerator? Probably not. I'm going to try that. No, I don't think that's going to work. Oh, hold on. Maybe. Oh, come on. Alright. It's dead. Instantly dead. Alright, well that was a bit silly. What else we got? Oh, another Corvette. Let's go after this guy then. This guy's on full health, full shields. So this will be the last target, I think. we'll either take out this Corvette or we'll die trying. And what I'm actually going to do is target his... what am I going to target? I shall target his thrusters, I think. His drive, is that it? Yeah, I think that's it.
Target shields offline.
You can see, I guess he's got fairly decent armor. Because I didn't touch that at all.
Under attack.
It's still on 100%. So these beam weapons just are not penetrating through the hull. Bang. Bit of a ram to finish him off. Well, he went down pretty quickly.
Destroyed.
Taking a few hits here now. I'll just quickly kill this eagle. Why not?
Target shields offline.
So yeah, I'd say this is a fine combat ship. Again, it's I'd say it's more of a kind of slow gunboat than it is. I mean, if you went straight to this from the Clipper, you'd probably like if you expected it to fly like a Clipper, only bigger. You're going to be disappointed because it doesn't.
Target shields offline.
It's a lot slower. It's a lot more sluggish, but I think it's a good combat ship. I think, and it'd probably make a good trading ship as well, given the given the cargo capacity. So I guess we'll... can I afford to rebuy? Yep, we'll self-destruct this as well. We'll see what it looks like.
Self-destruct sequence initiated.
All the stuff you'd never even think of doing in the real game. It's fine to do in beta.
Thrusters offline. Warning, temperature critical. Self-destruct in 20 seconds.
And so after this we'll head back to the station and I guess we'll finish it up. No, my shaft malfunctioned. No.
Self-destruct in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hull integrity critical. Eject. 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 Eject.
I think the Corvette had a much more impressive explosion when it died. Oh, there we go. Let's respawn with the cutter. So yeah, I think both the Corvette and the Cutter, they're both pretty good ships. I think you might find the Cutter being used more for high-end trading, whereas the Corvette might find itself more as a dedicated combat ship, and then I suppose the Anaconda kind of falls in between. But yeah, I really like both of them actually. I think I'd probably, well, I don't know. I think I'd probably prefer the Corvette, which is a problem for me because I've ranked up more on the Imperial side than the Federation side, as you can see by my ranks here. Not that I'll be able to get either of them, not just yet anyway. But yeah, I think for dedicated combat, I probably prefer the Corvette, although I think the Clipper might have better weapons options. I think the Corvette is a better overall package. I think that's kind of how I feel. I mean, the loadouts I did today, they're obviously not perfect combat loadouts. They're just basic sort of testing sort of things, and it was a good way of comparing between the two of them. But yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. It's not really something I have to worry about in the main game because I won't be able to afford either of these ships for a while. But who knows? Maybe one day. But yeah, they're both pretty cool. I like both of them. I think they've both got their pros and cons, but I think in general, it's more pros than cons. But yeah, so I think I'll end this one here. So the next Elite video, I want to test out the Imperial Fighter in CQC. I actually haven't played CQC at all since it came out pretty much. So yeah, it'll be interesting seeing how that goes. So that's hopefully in a few days we'll have that up as well. And yeah, we'll just keep on going, I suppose. But I think I'll end this one here. So until next time, I've been Vornskyr. I hope you enjoyed the video and thanks for watching.